Castelluccio, and I'm very excited to be broadcasting from the IAEE Expo show floor. And my special guest today is Ana-Alyse Castelluccio. She is Group Director of Customer Delivery at Clarion Events. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm excited to have you on today because I know that your career has just been taking off. I mean, you have had a lot of things going on and within the last year and a half. So I was very excited for you to be here today. And so we can the format of the show is that I really like to let people learn more about the people that are doing the things. You know, we're always behind the drapes.
Yes.
We're the people doing it, and people don't ever really get to learn much about us and our path and our, how we've come into this business that we love.
Yes.
And one thing that we find among our like-minded individuals in the industry is all of us here love it. It's like
You wouldn't be here if
no,
you didn't.
it's cult-like. Yeah. And the people that don't love it don't last very long.
Yeah.
So with that, I want to talk about your origin story and how you got started in the business and what was your first taste of trade show.
Yeah. It was sort of by accident. So
A lot of people have that.
yeah. I feel like I don't know, when I was in college, you don't even think of events, you're never presented with that as this is a career option. Anyway, so I had gone to school for communications. I wanted to do something broad because I wasn't sure exactly where I would end up. Fell into events sort of accidentally as an intern and sort of worked my way up. The first company I was there for almost 10 years, and they produced events, mostly conferences with a small trade show portion,
Right.
awards dinners, seminars, that kind of thing, all in the financial services industry. After almost 10 years, my introduction into Clarion was via left field media, so B2C portfolios, doing Comic-Con, anime shows, working operations. And then from there, it's been a lot, like you said, it's been a lot of roles in the last, it's been about just over 5 years with Clarion,
Yeah.
and most recently now managing the customer delivery groups, that's Exhibitor Services and Operations.
Okay, and I know that you guys have taken a real stance on that customer delivery, on that customer experience, and I know that the one thing that we talk about a lot recently is frictionless experience. We want it to be as smooth as possible for everybody. And can you talk about some of the things that you've initiated, with that being now with customer delivery?
Yeah, it is really important, and so I think the alignment internally between all of the different groups, we work so collaboratively with several different groups, but even operations and exhibitor services, kind of having that one point of contact for the exhibitor. We don't want them sitting there saying, I don't know who to go to, who to contact, so kind of streamlining that as much as we can, but also then looking to our vendors and our general service contractors and all of the third parties and saying, you guys are an extension of our team. How do we work together so the customers really feel that?
Yeah, it's important for us to be in alignment so that way, like you said, frictionless. There's lots of shows, there's lots of options for people to go to, and that's what giving them that gives you the edge and makes them want to come back.
Yeah, right. If you make it easy for them,
Yeah, and then also setting them up for success. I was just talking with Danica Tormelin yesterday, and she was telling me about their new education platform on how to make exhibitors' experiences more successful across the board. It's not theirs; it's they're just doing content for that.
Yes.
So, do you guys have a program where you set
Yes.
them up?
So we actually have a new exhibitor program, but it's really evolving now. We're getting ready to launch something new because what we've seen in the research is that not only we were originally focusing on new companies, if you're new to us, but now it's even if the company's been there before, there's a lot of new event managers, so it's their first time,
Very true.
even if their company's exhibited before. So how do we target them and help them along, help them understand what they need to know, how to make their experience, maximize their experience at our show so they're successful, they have the ROI. So really expanding the program to make sure we're including everybody and helping them, throughout the entire journey.
That's great. And where is this have you seen more success in one sector than others, or is it kind of across the board?
I think it's across the board. We're seeing a lot of similar trends there.
That's great. So when you first, so now I want to jump back. I got excited about talking about the customer experience stuff, but I wanted to talk about going back to when you started, throughout your journey, as we get into roles into leadership, there's always someone who has made a good impression on us in the past, and someone that was a mentor in the industry or even outside of the industry. Talk about that. Talk about who in your life has been a mentor that's really pushed you to be a better person, professional, everything like that.
Yeah. I would say I'm lucky enough to have quite a few personally and professionally. I would say at Clarion in particular, I just, from day one, I just couldn't get over the leadership team there, and they're all so wonderful and really want to foster the future leaders. So I feel like every step of the way I've had mentors within Clarion. Definitely these days, Mike Carlucci is kind of that for me. I feel like he's such a big thinker and an innovator, and he always sees like the next steps in the future for me before I see it for myself. You know, and has really pushed me to say like, okay, I could take this on, or can we do that, or where do we stretch? Because I think, you know, like in customer delivery and operations, it's very tactical, and it's how we're doing it, and checking, not just checking the boxes, but you know, like doing all the things that we know is necessary in producing an event, but really thinking bigger than that. And so he's really pushed me to do that.
That's good. And it's great that it's not just someone who helped you in the beginning, it's someone that's right there still along the way, and
every step of the way.
You continue to grow underneath him, so it's good. So what gets excited for you to get out of bed in the morning? What's going on these days that you just like, something new, something you guys are launching, or something just personally, like, you know, what is something for you that
there's a couple of things. So like we talked about in the beginning, really the service, the customer service, what does that look like? How do we elevate it? How do we differentiate ourselves? So we have a program we kind of piloted this year, and that we're launching for our 2024 event. So kind of more information to come on that, but really excited about that, and think that'll really make a difference for our customers and their experience. But also my teams. Like you talk about behind the drapes, operationally, like as an attendee, you don't necessarily know what all goes into building a show, right? And all of the details and the excruciating hours and all of the things, like you don't see that, but the amount of hard work they put in is really incredible, and like I honestly feel lucky to get to witness that and work with the teams. And then, you know, the icing on the cake is coming to a show in person, getting to see the hard work, getting to see it all pay off, and everyone having that sense of like, we did that. So that's really special.
It's funny because like people that aren't in the industry, I try to explain it to them. I said, there's no better feeling for me than opening morning. Like
it's hard to describe to somebody.
And it's like there's absolute chaos, and then on that opening morning, when everything is in line, then when it opens, it's just like, for one, a tremendous weight lifted, but two, it's like this sense of pride. When you're like, and we get to clear it all out in 2 days.
Right.
But, well, thank you so much for being here today. You know, I'm excited to watch your career and the great things that you're doing, and I'm happy to share your story. So